Okay, but Marvel.
Yes, Marvel.
You are so behind on everything Marvel, and it just upsets me every time I think about it.
I watch a lot of modern Marvels on the History Channel. But yes.
Okay, but you are aware that Phase 4 of the MCU,
yes,
Disney Plus is going to play a big role in that.
Yes, they did.
A lot of them are either going to be movies or little short series that are going to air on Disney Plus. They will be canon. They will tie into the MCU in some way, somehow. So you watched Endgame.
Yes.
Okay, so you know a lot happened in Endgame. We had people die, characters. We had time travel. That was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that more than likely is going to alter some things as well.
Yeah, I can think of a couple things.
Mm-hmm. And Infinity War also, characters died who did not come back.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you watch this trailer. As, the Marvel fan, comics, movies, I want to see your reaction to this trailer.
Oh boy, I'm probably going to make you sad, but...
Let's just roll the trailer before I get really sad.
Roll it. Okay, so that chopped a bit of a tree. Okay, I guess that's Falcon. Wait, Bucky Barnes? I saw in the subtitles. What? What's that? Was that freaking Tobey Maguire? What the hell? Okay, that's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Everything's going to... Okay, Loki. Place is going to burn. And it's so quick. I couldn't even really see.
Okay.
Wait,
watch
Disney
it again?
Loki. I saw at the end of that.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do one more time for you.
So, yeah, Falcon.
Yep.
Bucky Barnes, it's time. Okay, so that's a squirrel suits or wingsuits. That was, I guess, all the rounds being dumped out. That's like all the different versions of like... Because what was his name? Vision?
Vision. And Wanda.
And Wanda. Loki. Oh, so this is multiple...
These are multiple different...
Oh,
so yes.
Okay, that makes
sense. So what
sense.
we are going to have... What we
trailer.
know that's going to happen on Disney Plus for the MCU. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
WandaVision. And Loki.
So the three that
now,
are going to be on.
Some of these Disney, they said at the last conference that some of these might be what-if scenarios. And granted, they also said this while Endgame was still kind of almost out. So there's a possibility there was some, we're going to say this, but we actually mean this because we can't really spoil our plans for one thing and the other things because we want to leave some suspense.
And you said what if canon and a couple things. I know in Endgame one of the big things you mentioned was time travel. I'm wondering if it's gonna not really Spider-Verse, but similar to that in terms of like
a multiverse.
Dimensions or multiverse.
Well, because Marvel, there is the multiverse.
Oh,
so
yes. There is. Okay,
because that's how you have the Spider-Verse. That's how you have the Spider-Verse.
Right.
So, there are possibilities. So let's start one at a time. Okay, Falcon, Winter Soldier. Okay, so you got this, and at the end of Endgame, Cap gave Falcon, he handed over the mantle as Captain America. So now I think what we're going to see is a lot of Falcon kind of trying to embrace that role. Because Captain America is an iconic role. And I believe Phase 4 is heading in the direction of the more recent comics and stuff, because Falcon does take over the mantle of Captain America. Okay? So, canon and the comics. And so it's going to be interesting to see how the character develops on the screen, basically.
Right, yeah. Okay. And I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Did you see he's training right there, obviously?
Right, yeah, doing the whole discus. Well, I can't really imitate with the range of motion here, but the discus throw with his shield. And
then you have the squirrel suits, and
yeah.
but he's still Falcon. So I think this is going to be leading up to him, again, embracing that role. Because to go from Falcon to Captain America is a giant step.
Right. And this shot...
And then you have Bucky.
I have no idea what's going on here. Because, like, he has a pistol.
Yep.
And it's... Is that Tobey Maguire?
No.
Okay, because, like...
No.
I don't know why
it's the angle, and it was going so fast. I could see how you missed it.
Yeah, because I
but no,
saw
he's
that,
not.
and I was just like, wait a minute. Like, I haven't seen him since, like, Great Gatsby.
Oh, gosh.
But that's also interesting, because all the bullets were falling out unfired.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, is that Magneto?
No.
No, because...
No.
Well...
They do own...
And I think
they do own the mutant franchise now. Well, because Wanda is... And this became the issue with Marvel having all their assets split up between Disney, Sony...
Right.
Someone else had something. Fox also had stuff. It became that issue because the reason why the Scarlet Witch is Wanda. Correct. You know that, right?
I don't
well,
know
Wanda is Scarlet.
Sure.
Wanda is her actual name. Quicksilver. Yes, they are brother and sister. They are the children of Magneto. At the time, Disney did not have the rights to mutants. The Marvel mutants. They did not have the rights to that, but they obviously wanted to have them. So that's why you have the backstory that you have for Wanda and Pietro in Avengers Age of Ultron.
Oh, I didn't see that one. But yeah.
But yeah, you have that back.
Cool.
And they're never mentioned as mutants. So, because Disney just didn't have the rights. But now they do. So now I think we're going to see more of this. And that's why we're going to segue into WandaVision. Because I think this is very interesting. And I think if it's what I think, it's going to be super cool. Okay.
Because, oh yeah.
You want to... Okay.
I was going to say, because that's obviously
Vision.
the I Love Lucy.
Yes, it's very much like a sitcom. It looks literally like a sitcom.
Universe is expanding is the one thing I saw there too.
And because what I think is going to happen is there's a chance that our introduction to like mutants and stuff is going to be House of M. And because that was in the comics. Oh. Do you know what House of M was?
It sounds familiar, but...
Basically, in House of M, and of course they might warp it to fit in the cinematic universe, but Wanda and Vision are a couple in the comics. They get married, they have kids. Aww. The kids die. Wanda, in like depression, desperation, and just a lot of stuff happens.
God,
and you know,
dark.
You know Wanda's power. She can warp reality.
Mm-hmm.
She basically warps reality to bring them back. But of course, it's not true reality.
Mm.
And you know what we see in Infinity War, Vision is gone, and they didn't bring him back. Now, there are a couple things that could happen because in Infinity War you have Siri. Or Shuri. Not Siri. Why did I say Siri is the phone. Shuri. But she was trying to figure out a way to get the Mind Stone out of Vision but keep Vision alive. And then you also have the scene where they break into the lab to attack Vision and she grabs something and puts it in her pocket before she starts trying to fight back. And so I thought that was gonna I'm very certain that if they bring Vision back, it's gonna have to do with what she has. I think she was able to replicate something to where it could bring Vision back.
Whether
it recorded his memories, power, whatever. If they bring him back and he's actually back, I think it's going to have something to do with that. However, because of the way this is very sitcom-y, I think this is going House of M direction, where Wanda has kind of just warped her reality to where they're together.
It seems like that, because you have the black and white cuts to the, it's borderline sitcom. That 70s show.
Yes, you have I Love Lucy. You also have her in... This is difficult.
Right, to freeze frame on the different things.
There we go. But you have, all the different... And then here, she's in regular clothes. This is how we see her, but it's still black and white. So that's why I think it's going House of M.
Black and white.
She's warping reality so that they're together. Which becomes a problem, which it also couldn't become a problem because in House of M, basically, at the end, we kind of lose all the mutants. Because she's in the comics, and the comics have been out, so it's not really a spoiler. If people read the comics, they read the comics. In the comics, with House of M, she's, doing this, and, they kind of have her locked up, and you have, the Avengers and... The X-Men are kind of talking how are we going to deal with this? She can't keep doing this. This could completely destroy reality.
Yeah, unravel the whole universe.
And so Magneto, this is his kid. He's trying to he's talked with Doctor Strange, and we have had word that Doctor Strange and another character who are important to the plot of House of M are going to appear in WandaVision.
And that's confirmed that they're appearing?
Possibly.
Oh, boy.
Because, Magneto tries to talk to him to see if, Doctor Strange can do anything, because her powers and his are similar with the, reality and time bending. And basically, they basically come down to the conclusion, because, some people were we have to kill her. She's too powerful. And Scarlet Witch really is one of the most powerful characters in the MCU.
Dark Phoenix Jean with being able to...
Yes. But yes. I'm just thinking of the movies.
Oh, gosh.
Oof. But...
Yeah, I didn't watch that one either, but...
Good. But, it then becomes that, they basically come to the conclusion... They're, discussing this. Quicksilver runs to Magneto and is they're thinking about killing her. And so what basically happens at some point, Magneto goes, talks to her, and she bends reality. And basically, everyone who went to go see her, starts disappearing.
Oh.
And it's also mentioned, and here's why I think they're going with this route. It was also mentioned that because Tom Holland is Spider-Man right now.
Yes.
It was, when Sony and Marvel were going through that argument about, and it was mentioned that if he was not in the MCU, that was going to affect some of the Disney Plus stuff. Because he was also supposed to appear. In the comics, Spider-Man is the last to show up before disappearing into this reality that she's made. And that's why it becomes the House of M, because basically Magneto is in charge. But basically, of course, Magneto being Magneto, he kind of abuses this, system, and then it pisses Wanda off, and basically a lot happens. Just read the comics, a lot happens. I'm having to summarize it. And she basically says, no more mutants.
Oof.
And with her power, proceeds to again warp reality.
Basically does a Thanos on mutants.
Pretty much. And things get resolved in ways in the comics and stuff, but that was basically the end of mutants.
Wow.
Scarlet Witch has that power, and that's why I think this is the direction this is gonna go. because of how everything is flipping and it's all these different realities.
Yeah, it's like we see the I Love Lucy, the borderline 70s show with the straight hair, but like some of it is all black and white. Some of it was like you freeze framed and pointed out color, black and white background, and some of it was all color, and some of it was saturated. Some like it flips through like every style,
and that's why I think it's not real. It's her bending her reality so that her and Vision are together.
That seems most likely.
And like that seems like, because I highly doubt Disney would be like, what if this was a sitcom? That doesn't make sense.
Right. It'd be interesting.
It would be interesting, but I really do think this is going the House of M route, which would be very interesting to see how that plays out.
And that could like go into a whole series.
Oh yes. Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and then we have Loki.
Right, which Loki is the one we haven't talked about, but that's a whole, like, he's just saying, I'm gonna burn this. I'm gonna burn this.
And I think this is gonna have to do with time travel, and it's possibly, this is gonna end time travel in the MCU. Because, in Endgame, we have, Loki died in Infinity War. Just dead. But then you have Endgame, they do the time travel shift, take the test to try and get the Tesseract. But in there, like, while they mess up, Loki gets away, he grabs it, and disappears.
Just off he goes, yeah.
And they were warned before. They have to make sure everything stays the way it is. If it doesn't, the realities will shift. Or, like, the timelines will shift. And so I think at that point they created a different timeline. Loki is alive in that time, and a timeline.
And that one timeline with Loki being Loki can screw with every other timeline, basically.
It's possibly, but that's why I think this one they may end time travel. Because if you keep time travel, everything can go haywire.
Yeah.
And it can very much become a crutch to be like, oh well, this movie that was very bad. That was the different timeline. Don't worry about it. Which you hate. You don't want that to happen in a franchise like this.
Not to bring it up too much, but just do the Deadpool route of like time travel back and plug all the timelines. Like.
But yes, I am actually excited to see all the Disney Plus. I mean, they're possibly going to be canon. I think they are going to be canon. I just need to see how this all goes, because this is going to be, like, I'm very curious about WandaVision, especially.
Right.
Because if that goes House of M route,
that opens up a lot of doors.
That's just so much.
I think they're going to do that, because that gives them so much potential for series, movies, the whole, even comics,
and it would
like
introduce
the whole 9 yards.
The mutants into the MCU, because they now have rights
and
to
then
those.
An ambitious crossover to they do have rights to
that's why the movie New Mutants has been in production limbo, because that was during that whole it started with Sony or Fox. Then Disney acquired some materials from Fox, and then it was
Sony.
Then there were the fight backs with Sony, and it was just so much. It's been chaotic for
Can
MCU.
you imagine like the producers or directors on that just like,
so do we have
work
jobs
today?
or
Do we just take the day off?
Yeah. So again, I'm very interested to see how this goes.